Mountain climbing's one of those activities that many of us just can't understand, but admire all the same. Canberra climber Andrew Locke is looking to reach the pinnacle of the sport when he straps on the crampons for an expedition in Tibet next month. If successful, he'll become the first Australian to climb all of the world's 8,000-metre peaks and join the true elite of the world's mountaineering fraternity. While many of his climbing friends have fallen victim to the mountains, Andrew Locke admits he's had an amazing run of luck and he hopes it'll hold for one last expedition.
It was about 1985 I saw a slideshow by Tim Snape, the first Australian to climb Everest. I was living in Wagga at the time and I was just swept away by the images and the story, and I decided then that I wanted to climb Mount Everest. And along the way I climbed Everest and a bunch of others, and then I realised that actually climbing all 14 was a project that I might actually be able to achieve, so I set my heart on that. The ceremony we just conducted was a puja, whereby we ask the gods on Mount Makalu for safe passage while we climb on the mountain. They're all 8,000 metre mountains, so they're the highest mountains in the world. Everest is one of those. And the 8,000 metre level, it's a bit of an arbitrary figure. It's where we start to describe the death zone, where humans simply cannot acclimatise to that altitude and survive. So what we try and do is we acclimatise through the expedition to the point where we can steal just a brief moment on the summit. Since my first 8,000 metre summit in 1993, I've been gradually working my way through them all. I've now climbed 13 of the 14, including Everest. The last mountain is called Shishapangma. It's in Tibet. I've actually climbed it twice before, almost to the summit, and couldn't quite get to the true summit. And the plan is to try and get to the summit of Shishapangma in late April, early May of this year, and which will complete the 14 8,000ers for me. The only thing is I've climbed all of the 8,000ers except for Everest without oxygen. So I'd like to follow on after Shishapangma with a climb on Everest, my third ascent of Everest, without oxygen, and that'd just be a nice way to finish the project. It's so hard, I can't put into words. We're just now trying to carry a load of food and gas and equipment from our tent at Camp 1 up to the Camp 2 site. I don't feel any requirement to justify why I do it. It is my passion. It's the same as a marathon runner or a motorcycle racer. It is just my passion, and I love doing it. It is a high-risk activity, and I accept that. But it's very hard to draw the line between private, experienced climbers like myself and those who would pay money to be guided up Mount Everest or other mountains, because guiding's been around for as long as climbing. Certainly there are questionable ethics that arise in that commercial environment, but it really comes down to the individual as to how they behave on the mountain and how they do or don't help others. From my own perspective, I will always give up a summit to help another climber, and I certainly hope that other climbers will do that as well. Once we move on to a glacier, we've got a lot of objective danger to look out for. Crevasses are often covered over and it's very easy to fall in, and generally when you fall into a crevasse, if you don't have a rope on, you're not going to survive that fall. Climbers generally will find ourselves in absolutely terrifying environments where at that point we could turn around and give up and go down, but generally it's a matter of rationalising the fear, really analysing the situation, and we can find that we can actually push through the fear and overcome the challenges to get to the summit. I've never been seriously frostbitten. I've been frost-nipped and had my fingers and toes certainly frozen to the extent of no feeling for a couple of hours, but I've always managed to get them back. I've been buried in an avalanche on Dhaulagiri in Nepal in 1997. I just managed to dive for cover as an avalanche came over me in 2005 on Annapurna when it killed one of my friends and injured a few others. And of course I've fallen down lots of crevasses and those sorts of things. That's part of the game. I don't want to fall down those.
That's a big one.
When I step off the mountain at the bottom, it's a fantastic sense of achievement, but it's a huge sense of relief that I don't have to go back up there again and expose myself to those dangers. So it's a combination of the two. And the rush that comes with it is more an inner glow that comes from having forced myself for the preceding 2 or 3 months to just keep going and going and going when I've been absolutely so physically and psychologically exhausted, and push myself through those fears that come at various times during the expedition. And it's a wonderful sense of inner peace and achievement that comes with each summit.
I'm on the summit of Makalu, 8,470 metres. It's one bloody tough climb, I can tell you. It goes on forever.
Past girlfriends would tell me that I perhaps lack a little bit of emotion. I'm not a particularly emotional person. I do thrive in that environment, and I absolutely love it, and I'd give up anything to get back onto my next mountain. But that's about as emotional as I get, I suppose.
It's a bloody long way. There's a lot of climbing.
It's very addictive, and I love that environment, and it's a pretty good view from up there. I will certainly push myself into extreme adventures for as long as I'm physically capable, and if that's to the day I drop dead, then that's fine.